Welcome to the Berea Report, everybody, here on SportsTime Ohio. I'm Jim Donovan, along with the Plain Dealers' Tony Grossi. Week 2 for the Browns sees them go for the first time this regular season on the road out to Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. And I know it's only game 2, but it's a very big game because this thing could really go off the tracks if you go 0-2 with a trip to Baltimore and then Cincinnati at home to round out the month of September. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think a lot of people felt that Denver would be 0-1 coming into this game, but they're not because of the craziest play of the weekend in the opening weekend in the NFL when that pass went to Brandon Stokely. But it is a big game.
Well, it is because the Denver team is more unstable than the Cleveland team. They have 27 new players from a year ago and a new coaching staff and a new quarterback and new attitudes, just like the Browns, but they have a few more new players. So this is a team that's more of an even playing field than an established team like Minnesota. So this was one of those games at the beginning of the year you think, hey, the Browns have a pretty good chance on that second week.
Well, let's talk about the coaching matchup. That is the headline story coming in today. The coaching matchup is intriguing because you have Bill Belichick, and then you have the Belichick tree.
It's right behind us somewhere.
I think it is. It's a flowing spruce. But off the branches, there is an Eric Mangini branch and now a Josh McDaniels branch. And as you pointed out earlier today, and in fact to the coach, this is probably the first matchup now of two Belichick disciples going up against each other now as head coaches.
It really is. I mean, I know Eric Mangini opposed Romeo Crennel twice in the last 4 years, but Romeo really comes from the Bill Parcells tree, which is a different limb and a different trunk.
A much different tree.
This is really two guys that Belichick created. Now, Josh is a little different in that he's the son of a coach. Obviously, we're well familiar of that. But both got their starts at entry-level positions under Bill Belichick, and now they're head coaches in the NFL, and they're meeting for the first time. We'll see this again when Mangini faces Jim Schwartz. But this is really the first, and fittingly, the Browns are involved because, as we said, the Belichick tree is planted right behind us, and we're infatuated with it here in Cleveland.
Here's the other thing, too. Mangini gets the job as a head coach of the Browns, and on a Saturday afternoon, right after he had interviewed earlier in the week, middle of the week with Randy Lerner, Josh McDaniels was scheduled to interview with the Browns, and in fact did. He did interview with the Browns for the head coaching position, but obviously they had their eyes set on Mangini.
I think that's pretty obvious. Right after the interview, they were writing contract language, I believe, and they end up canceling an interview with Jim Schwartz. So, three of the main contenders for the Browns head coaching job came from this Belichick tree, and we're seeing two of them Sunday.
Well, it's a very close relationship, Josh McDaniels and Eric Mangini. I'm sure they spent a lot of hours tucked away in the cave, as Romeo Crennel used to tell me, the cave of the stadium out in Foxborough, trying to find ways for the Patriots to win. Mangini on the defensive side, McDaniels on the offensive side. But now they have their own teams, and they go head-to-head Sunday, and here's Eric Mangini on the matchup.
I've known Josh for a long time. Josh was actually helped me in the secondary when he first got to New England, similar to what Brian had done, Brian Daboll had done with me when he got there, and he did the film breakdown, the quality control, things like that. And Josh is a really smart guy, very intuitive. He was never afraid to make suggestions in the defensive staff room, regardless of what his age was. And I can tell you that usually they were very good suggestions, and just to see him progress over the course of time, I think is outstanding. And then for him to get this opportunity, really happy for him.